Is MiaPrep a good online homeschool program, or should you save your money? Let's find out. MiaPrep is an online homeschooling program from the creators of MiAcademy. It's basically the same thing as MiAcademy, but for high school students or students who are ready for a high school level curriculum. You can get your first month for just $9.95. After that, it will be $40 a month per student. But of course, like a lot of the other online homeschooling programs, you can get a discount if you sign up for their yearly or lifetime membership. MiaPrep offers an accredited curriculum covering all the core subjects plus electives for 9th through 12th grade. But remember, MiaPrep is not a school, so only the curriculum is accredited. If you're looking for more of an online high school, MiaPrep is currently taking applications for their brand new online high school. If your student will be entering 9th, 10th, or 11th grade, they can apply now. 12th grade will be available in the fall of 2024. But that's for another video. Back to MiaPrep. So as I said, MiaPrep is not a school, it's an online homeschooling program. It's self-paced and flexible and fully customizable. Once you sign up, you will be able to choose all of the courses for your child to take. I have to say, as the parent, both MiaPrep and MiAcademy have some of the best customization options, and it's really kind of a lot of fun. You choose which courses your child will take and which days of the week they will work on which subjects. You also choose the start and end dates for each course. You can set the holidays that you want to observe in your homeschool and remove the ones that they have pre-selected if they don't apply to you. You can change the grade level for each course and even set the passing grade. I'll show you how to do all of this and more a little bit later in this video. In addition to all the customization options for parents, there is also some great reporting. There is an automatic attendance report that tracks when your child logs on and how long they stayed logged on for, that you can print whenever you like. They also have a report card that you can view and print at any time. Now, before I show you how all of that looks and really get into it, let's talk a little bit about what MiaPrep has to offer for the students. The interface is the same as for MiAcademy, with a learning path, the My World section where they can spend the gold they earn and also play games like the Dragon Race, a video section, and a community tab. What sets MiaPrep and MiAcademy apart from a lot of the other online homeschooling programs, and what makes it so popular with kids, is the social aspect. I'll show you more on that in a little bit, don't worry. Okay, so now let's look at the whole parent dashboard and how everything works step by step. But before we do that, I just want to take a moment to talk about science. I got a question on one of my videos about what do the kids do for science when they're taking an online homeschooling program. And I agree, science is often something that is best taught by doing experiments and hands-on activities, and it's one area that can kind of be lacking in homeschool. So I just wanted to mention our favorite resource for at-home science kits, which is Mel's Science. They have at-home science kits for math, space, chemistry, physics, and more that are really fun and educational. So that's something you might want to think about adding to your homeschool. So this is the parent dashboard. The first tab is My Students. Up top here, you can pause, cancel, or upgrade your membership. Here you can reward your student with gold if you want. There is a drop down where you can choose an activity, or you can create one of your own. I'll show you what the gold is for when we get to the student section. Here where it says Learning Community is where you can choose the level of restriction for the community features. You can set your email preferences here, enable audio learning here, and enable or disable the videos page here. Next is the Curriculum tab. This is where you can make all of the fun customizations to your child's curriculum. Up top is the Vocabulary. You can enable or disable daily vocabulary practice and download the entire PDF of the vocabulary by grade if you like. Below, you will see all of the main courses as well as the schedule for each. If you scroll down, you will see the optional electives. If you want to add one of those, just click Add or Remove Courses. Then you can choose which to add here. If you want to adjust the dates for a course, just click here, then click the calendar option to adjust the start and end date. If you shorten the duration, more lessons will be required per day. If you extend it, the lessons will be spread out over a longer period of time. You can adjust the days of the week for each course here. It's fun to play around with the schedule and set it up with what you think will work best for your child. Of course, you can just leave it alone if you don't want to customize it. If you click Add or Remove Courses on a course that is already assigned, you'll be able to change the grade level or add more than one course at a time. If you want to see the scope and sequence for a particular course, just click here. There are even more ways to customize these courses. If you click the dots over here and click View Course, this will show you everything that is included in the course. If you click the arrow button, you can see each individual lesson and everything that is part of that lesson. If you want to reassign a lesson that was already completed, you can do that here. If you want to remove any part of a lesson, just uncheck the box over here. Or you can even remove an entire unit if you want to. You can also view the PDFs and answer keys that go with the lessons here. If you click this button, you can mark the course as required, set the passing grade for the quizzes, and enable or disable the option for free input questions. Up top, you can view the course description and also remove the course. If you click on the calendar over here, you will see the lessons that are assigned for your child for each day. If you click on Edit Breaks up here, you can add your own custom holidays or make changes to the preset public holidays. Of course, your child can always work ahead, but if they do log on a holiday or a weekend, if you don't have lessons assigned on the weekends, it will just show that all their work for the day has been completed. Over here is the attendance log. It will keep track of every time your child logs in and how long they were logged in for. You can print reports here if you need them for your records. The reports section is where you can view your child's progress and grades. You can download and print these reports whenever you want. The settings section is just basic info such as name, time zone, and data collection info. So that takes care of the parent dashboard. Now let's take a look at MiaPrep from the student's perspective. But before we do that, I just want to take a moment to share with you this new book we received to review. It's a modern-day fairy tale for tech-curious kids, and it was really a lot of fun to read. It's about a little girl who learns how to build and code, and I highly recommend it for any kids who are into that sort of thing. Okay, here's the student dashboard. The first tab is the learning path. This is where they will go to complete their daily lessons. They can do these in any order they want. If they click on a lesson, it will bring them here. Usually the lessons consist of a PDF to read or a video to watch, practice questions, assessments, and activities. The videos are not too long, which I think is helpful because long videos are hard even for me to stay focused on. When they finish a section for the lesson, they will see a green check mark. The other sections remain locked until the previous sections are completed. I will show you an example of a lesson in just a minute, but first I want to show you what the rest of the buttons up here are for. The All Lessons tab here brings you to all the lessons for each course. You can click on one and then browse through all the lessons that are included. You can do any of these lessons if you like, but I don't really see the value in going out of order. The My World tab is where your child can spend those gold coins we talked about earlier. Gold is also earned for completing the assignments, and you can see your balance up here. You can buy templates for clothing, furniture, and art in the design studio, and then create your own design from the templates. Then you can offer the completed item in your shop. You can see the items that you have for sale in your shop. You can view completed items to buy in the furniture, clothing, and art shops. There is a castle here that the student can customize using the furniture and art designs purchased in the shops. There are some arcade games to play over here. Up here is the Dragon Race, where you can compete against other students to earn gold. You also have an avatar that you can dress up and customize however you like. You can fill out the details of your bio here. Your videos that you create will show up here. You can join a team or create a new one down here. The My Friends tab is where students can connect with each other and send messages to their friends. The Videos tab is kind of like YouTube, where kids can create and upload their own videos. If you have this option enabled, you will be glad to know that each video goes to the parent to review first, and then goes through a review through MiaPrep before it gets posted. Last is the Community tab, where kids can see the latest updates and read or even contribute to the MiaPrep weekly newsletter. Remember, if you want to limit your child's online interaction with other kids or disable the video feature, you can do so in the Parent Dashboard under the My Students tab. Okay, so that's what the whole student dashboard looks like. Now let's take a look at an individual lesson. So most of the lessons start out with a PDF like this, which you can print out. You can also print out the entire PDFs for the whole unit by clicking those 3 dots next to a course and then clicking on View Course, and then you can click the View PDFs and you can print all of the PDFs at once if you want to. And then there's usually a video to watch.
Hey everyone, I'm Kaylee. Welcome to your lesson on mass, volume, and density. In this lesson, we will explore the relationship between mass, volume, and density, the 3 most fundamental properties of objects. Let's start with a quick review of properties you already know about, mass and volume. Mass is the amount of matter in an object. Scientists can measure the mass of an object with a balance. We use units grams to describe lighter masses and the units kilograms to describe heavier masses. Volume is the amount of space an object takes up. Scientists can measure the different volumes of solids, liquids, and gases with different tools. You've probably calculated the volume of a box using the equation V equals length times width times height. The units for volumes are meters cubed or centimeters cubed for solids, and liters or milliliters for liquids and gases. Now we can use what we know about mass and volume to learn about density. Density is an important physical property of matter. It reflects how closely the particles of matter are packed together. When the particles are packed together very tightly, the matter has a greater density. When the particles have more space between themselves, the matter has a lower density. Differences in the density of matter explain many phenomena. To better understand density, let's think about a bowling ball and a soccer ball. The 2 balls are about the same size, but the bowling ball feels much heavier than the soccer ball. This is because the bowling ball contains tons of tightly packed particles of solid plastic. In contrast, the soccer ball is full of air and more widely spaced particles of matter. Therefore, the matter inside the bowling ball is denser than that of the matter inside the soccer ball. When we compare the densities of the bowling ball and the soccer ball, what 2 properties did we talk about? Yeah, we said they were about the same size, which is the volume. And we also talked about the mass, or which one was heavier. And if we know these 2 properties, we can just do some simple math and divide the mass by the volume to give us the density. Let's use this equation together to calculate the density of an object. Our example says, what is the density of a liquid with a volume of 50 milliliters and a mass of 500 grams? So if we have our formula, density equals mass over volume, let's just write down what we know and plug it in. What is the mass of our object? It says here, mass equals 500 grams. And the volume, it says the volume is 50 milliliters. So for mass and volume, we can just plug in these values. We have 500 grams divided by 50 milliliters. And now we just do some simple math. 500 divided by 50, that gives us 10. And what are our units here? We have grams per milliliter. And grams per milliliter, or mass units divided by volume units, are the units for density. So here is our answer. Now this one reads, what is the mass of 300 milliliters of solution if its density is 0.878 grams per milliliter? So the properties we have here are volume and density. Can we use our same formula to solve for mass? Yeah, of course we can. We just need to solve our equation for mass. So how can we rearrange our formula? Yeah, we just multiply both sides of our equation by volume. And our new equation will be volume times density is equal to mass. So what values do we have here in our problem? We know the volume is equal to 300 milliliters, and we know the density is equal to 0.878 grams per milliliter. So just looking at our units here, what are our units of mass going to be? Yeah, grams, it tells us right here. Perfect, so now we can plug it in. Volume, we have 300 milliliters times 0.878 grams per milliliter. So this means our units are going to cancel out, and maybe you need to get out a calculator if you can't do that math in your head, or you can write it out for some long multiplication. It gives us 263.4 grams, and grams are the units we were expecting, so that checks out, and that's our answer. The mass of the solution is 263.4 grams. Congrats! You've mastered mass, volume, and density. Now you can practice what you've learned, and remember, in science as in life, you matter.
And then after the video, there will be a series of practice questions.
The amount of matter in an object is called density. The amount of three-dimensional space an object takes up is called mass, density, volume. Which of these is a unit of mass? Milliliters, cent. Which of these is a unit of mass? Grams, milliliters, centimeters. Which liquid is least dense? Honey, water, ethyl alcohol. In a beaker filled with liquids that will not mix, where will you find the most dense liquid? Volume is? How much three-dimensional space an object takes up? Which of these objects has the greatest volume? A golf ball, a marble, a baseball. What is the volume of the cube? 125 cubic millimeters. 15 cubic millimeters. Which of the following is true about mass and weight? Mass measures the amount of. Which units of measurement are used for volume? Milliliters, grams, centimeters. Which of these is a unit of mass? Milliliters, grams. The amount of three-dimensional space an object takes up is called. Which two factors do you need to calculate density? Matter and mass. Which of these determines an object's ability to float? Density. Kaylee has a small rock. It has a mass of 15 grams and a volume of 3 cubic centimeters. What? The amount of matter in an object is called. How do you calculate density? Volume divided by mass.
Now that we've seen a lesson, it's time for the part of the video where I tell you what I like and what I don't like about MiaPrep. We'll start with what I like. I really love how customizable it is for parents. You can remove lessons if your child already knows the material, or have them redo a lesson that they might not have fully grasped. You can set the passing grade and set up the whole calendar, choosing which lessons your child does on which days of the week. It's really nice that you have the ability to make all these changes if you want to. I also love the community aspect. Homeschooling can be a little isolating, especially if you're doing online homeschool. So it's really nice that kids can have the opportunity to interact with other kids who are also doing online homeschool. I also like that the individual lessons aren't too long, which helps keep students from getting bored and losing interest in the lesson. And now, what I don't like so much about MiaPrep. For one, I think the whole gold point system and My World option might be a little bit on the young side for a high school student. For Me Academy, these things are really nice, but I just don't know if it's going to be that motivating or fun for the older kids. So maybe they need to change that a bit. I also don't know if I like how the quizzes work. It's weird how it'll sometimes give your child the option to go back to the learning path mid-quiz. I'm sure this is probably to help avoid kids getting bored from having to answer a bunch of questions in a row, but it's just not what I'm used to as far as an assessment goes. It's the same way on Me Academy. My daughter will think that she's done with a lesson because it sends her back to the learning path, but then the lesson won't be marked as complete for the day, so she has to go back. It's not terrible, but maybe it could use a bit of work. And honestly, that's all I have to say on the negative side of it. I really do like MiaPrep, as it's basically the same thing as Me Academy, and I'm a big fan of that program. So if your high school student is looking for an online homeschooling program that has shorter lessons and a community aspect, this could be the one for you. Click the video on your screen now to learn about some other great online homeschooling programs for high school. Thank you so much for watching.